All right, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we have 355 cop stories. 7 to 10 minutes, depending on the length of it. Naked people, vice, narcotics gangs crash, guys hanging from rafters committing suicide by playing with his genitals. I mean, look them up, man. They're pretty funny. There really are a lot of funny ones in there. A lot of gross alerts. You'll like that. In addition to that, on the same site, RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we're up to 125 question and answers. Okay, so type in your questions and I'll answer them. And if you want to email me here, rsbcopstories@gmail.com, and I'll answer your questions. We're making up a list, and after this supervision question's over, we'll go into that and we'll start answering questions. Although the last couple of ones I actually wrote back on this Gmail site and answer them directly. I think you should. You deserve that. If you're going to ask me a question, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so we're doing that. So continuing on, 9/11 is hit. Okay, they formed squads, and I told you 2 sergeants had a vendetta against certain top steps. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. I have to a side rail here. A side note. I was considered trouble because I questioned the narcotic dogs coming to our search warrants, which we didn't need. And again, this captain only listened to the first person that comes in the room. So I was a bad guy. The other top step, which was senior to me, turned out to be my supervisor in this squad. 2 of us, and then the eight underlings. This is what he did. We're at a supervisor's meeting. There's probably, 30 of us in there, sergeants, supervisors. He raised a question that this captain didn't like. So next week, this top step, who's now I'm working with, a really good guy, worked together 6 years as underlings, he was transferred to what they call freeway therapy. He was sent to the farthest part of the city you can go, opposite his house. Okay? Yeah. That's called freeway therapy. In other words, to get his mind right. Well, problem is, Policeman Bill of Rights and Department policy says you cannot do that unless you have a disciplinary hearing to show cause. So, ironically, there was 5 of us working this one squad, and we're all young detectives. Okay? Me, this guy that got screwed over, and 3 others. Well, one of the 3 was now the president of our league. Okay? So I called this guy when I had a problem in my area. He called him directly and said, "This is what this guy did to me." And that guy said, "Oh no, this will be fixed in an hour." So he called this captain, because they call directly. They don't go through anybody, because there's a league, there's a union pretty much, and said, you will revert him back, or we're going to file a grievance and you're going to lose, because you're doing not an illegal thing, you're doing a policy problem, and that you're going to have to answer to it, to the chiefs above you, why you did this. And he said, and if it's a vendetta, that'll all come out. Well, of course it was going to come out. Why'd you send him? Well, I just felt like it. No. And the employee is going to say, I did this, this, and this. He didn't like it because I asked a question, and he's now signed like a whistleblower. You still blow a whistle and you get screwed. That's what's happening here. So within a couple of days, he was back where he came from. So now we're the problem children. So when this 9/11 hit, back on track here, you had me, which I didn't think I just told them we don't need dogs. So they put us two troublemakers. Oh wow, troublemakers. And then the people they gave us turned out later on, a friend of mine brought that up, it will come out later, that they're very good people. Remember, there's 220 of us, but the bottom line is that men and women, we're all alphas. We're all very aggressive. That's how we got there. You don't go to narcotics being passive and handling radio calls and writing parking tickets. You go there because you want to work. So luckily, we got 8 really good people, 7 men and a woman, and just wanted to work. They knew about us. They didn't know us, but they'd heard rumors and stories about us, myself and my partner. What to our advantage was, all these kids are young guys. They liked the rebels, and they considered us to be rebels because we're on the captain's shit list. Pardon my French. Okay, so they liked that, which is really weird how it reversed around, where you tried to screw us over, and now the people that are coming in thought we were pretty cool because we're like anti the captain, because the captain's like the enemy, which in our eyes he was. He was just getting in the way. Get in the way. That's all they're doing. Okay, so that was the incompetence there. Okay, so now we're gonna now we come in. It's like the 3rd day, because the 2nd day we're getting all can you imagine now how slow this is evolving. Within hours of the air attack, I'll call it air attack, patrol was ready to go. I mean that day it was, what did it happen? 9 in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 in the morning. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the patrol officers' shifts had already been delineated. Nights, days, done. They were ready to go. At 6 that evening, half the department came on watch because they're mobilized. And then the guys that work day shift, they got into their day mode. So 6 at night, the night watch comes on till 6 in the morning, and then they go home, day watch. So you see what's happening here. They were right on, because again, they have their playbook, okay? We have no playbook. So all you have to do is evolving, unfortunately, slowly. If there was something, if an attack was gonna come, it's gonna be, patrol's gonna have to handle it, because we're not in place yet. So the second day, we had to basically come in with logistics, gotta go to lunch. Now they're putting our squads together. We're meeting these guys, we're having little meetings with them. We're getting targets to go after. We don't know what the hell we're doing yet. So at the end of the day, we haven't done anything except form up squads. There must have been 30 squads all over the place. Majors had squads, we had squads, everybody had squads, okay. So FBI and our intelligence is feeding us all these, they're feeding us, and we're getting all these lists of people to look at. Hundreds of people, seriously, hundreds. Okay, well, it's a big city, it's a big county, I mean, they're all over the place, okay. So anyway, so we come in the second day, and some of they're getting worried, they meaning the brass and the establishment, that they're expecting another attack somewhere, okay? We still are, obviously. So we get tasked going to the south part of Los Angeles, and we chopped up our squads into two persons each, okay? So that gives 5 cars, basically. And we tasked they want us to go out and check and sit and watch these places. Power stations, bridge, St. Vincent Thomas Bridge, it goes from Harbor into Long Beach, 2 or 3 power facilities. Believe it or not, I didn't even know this because I never worked the area. There's a dam above UCLA. I didn't know that. There's a huge reservoir with a dam with big pumps that pump water who knows where. I didn't even know that even existed until this thing hit. And we're sending teams up there just to sit and watch and look and monitor, okay? We had our own frequencies, got our own dispatch. They beefed up our dispatch 24 hours a day. So call in stuff. And what are we looking for? Norwegians with harpoons? Ooh. Canadians with hockey sticks? No. First time you hear it here. We're looking for Mideastern people. That's what the target is. They don't want to say that. They're saying we're looking for suspects. Really? Okay. I'll give you that. But anyway, they had to, obviously, for public relations purposes, that we're looking for all people that might be hurting. Well, okay, fine. Well, you want to look at it that way. But as far as I'm concerned, on the line, I didn't have to tell my guys, we're looking for people of Mideastern descent, because they're the ones that are going to blow things up, and they're the ones that have caused this incident to occur with aircraft. Okay. Anyway, so that was our first full day, checking all these places. Bus terminals. We had a couple of incidents where I was at the bus terminal with 2 of our guys, because we have to, myself and my other top staff, we had to stay mobile. So we kept make sure our group was all near each other, and so we could call for each other for help, because patrol's busy. They're handling radar calls. They're trying to stand by for different things. They got patrol group gone on a side road here. Patrol's got many officers, like 50 over here, 60 over there, staging, ready to go in case something happens. So you can imagine that ties up a lot of personnel. They're in warehouses, they're in gymnasiums. If you have to feed them, keep them cool, if you have dogs, keep them hydrated. Horses, same thing. So there's a lot of moving parts here. So patrol is not going to be able to help you in the sense they can. So we're at the bus terminal. We see, 2 Mideastern guys I'm getting on a side note here, come off a bus, and they got, big bags around them, and they're, the bags are heavy, and they're walking. We're going, look at that, and they're looking around, they get in their cars, and go, and they're looking at me. What do you want to do? I said, I think we should stop these guys. I'm sorry, we got to do something because I don't like this. Okay, so but them looking around was the key. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. This is an overreaction, but it's a little bit is. Okay, so they come out with their car, and they there's a guy waiting for them. So there's 3 of them in there, and they go down to there was a McDonald's nearby. So obviously they got to eat. They came off the bus. They pull into McDonald's, and the world fell on them. There's 6 of us out with guns. Get on the ground. And of course, now I think back, kind of a dumb thing to do, because if there was some of those bags, they could have pulled the cord and we'd all be gone. I mean, you think of it that, but in those days you thought, well, I got, something's going on here. Okay, so guns come out, badges everywhere, and they're like, we get them on the ground, cuff them. I have very aggressive guys. They take the bags out. They're dragging them. Okay, can you imagine what a mistake that is? Oh my God. But at the time, you want to see what's going on here. So one guy's like this, and he looks up and he gives me a look like he's squeezing the bag. It's not hard, it's soft. So made a mistake. He unzipped it, Probably should have done that if there was anything in there. Think back now, I'm still here, right? Okay. Anyway, I unzipped the bag. Well, what it was, the reason why it was so heavy, they're students, they were like in their early 20s. They've got books in there, and they've got their clothes. All the clothes they own are in there. And so, because we can see the little bit of like a hard, like what a profile of a book would make, a couple of books on one side, but you don't know what it is unless you open it up. So open the bags, they're looking at them, and they're in complete shock. I'm sure they thought because of 9/11, that's why they were stopped. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so we look at it, and they look at me, and they're going, okay, well, you know what? We do this. Brush them off, tell them who we are, give them a business card, you can call downtown, we're sorry, you understand, because of 9/11, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they were really nice. I mean, I'll give them, they were not mad, they just said, I understand, and you have big, heavy packages and all that, and I'm going, oh boy, and then, so then we secure from there, we go to another place to sit, and later on, because we all got back together, because my other top step, my boss was somewhere else, we all got together and talked about what we did. No big deal, we didn't criticize anyone, but then after all the guys left, I look at my fellow top step, I go, it's got to be the stupidest thing we ever did. I said, if those guys were wired, we could, as soon as they saw us coming, they would have, but they do overseas. See, we're not used to this. Again, we're not set up for terrorists to blow people up. This is the United States. We don't normally see that, okay? I'm sure back in the Middle East, if officers rush somebody with a package, they probably have a detonator somewhere or pull the cord or whatever. Well, we're just city cops. We don't know this. Now I do, So he goes, wow. I said, yeah, but he goes, well, what are you going to do? I don't know. There's no direction because, again, we don't have a playbook. We're doing this off the cuff. Interesting. So back on track. Anyway, so that was like the third day. And we're doing all this stuff. We're looking for usual suspects. I'm getting my notes here. I'm so sorry. And so that was our little incident at the bus terminal. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. And they told us, of course, to notify. If you see anything unusual, bridges, whatever. And you imagine your job that day, because we were pulled off the bridge detail and we're going to another place. Another unit watching the bridge. 5 units sit on the bridge. Two or three on one side, 2 on the other side. And they're just sitting in their cars, making sure nobody jumps the fences and goes down where the bases are, I guess, the abutments, where you want to call them, and hold the bridge up. I guess you got to do it, but it's like, okay. I think if I was a Mideastern guy, I would probably not worry about a bridge. I think I would probably go into a mall if I'm going to do something really serious, okay? I hate to say that, but that's what they call soft targets. A lot of people, look for a festival, street fairs, where you can't put cops everywhere. The last place you want to go to is an airplane terminal and these huge things, because, first of all, the huge things, you have to have enough explosives to blow them up. You don't have that. And of course, the airports, as soon as this hit, all the airports were locked down. You couldn't get in the airport. You couldn't shoot a squirt gun in that airport. The water would come back at you. That's how many cops are in that place. They're all over the place. FBI, LAX had FBI, airport police, our guys. I mean, everybody was there. I mean, seriously, unbelievable. And people that went to the airport during those times, any airport, saw security. In LA, I just saw this end of it. It was just stops everywhere, opening up cars, dogs, mirrors under the cars. I mean, it was basically high security, which it should be. I mean, come on, you got a lot of people there. Okay, so anyway, now we're the third day here. We've done these bridge checking and all that. Okay, fine. So some lieutenant didn't know anything about nothing. Says, okay, you're gonna have to start following people. Okay, this is where the fun stuff comes. Okay, and perfect timing. I'm running out of tape, so I'll start with the fun stuff, meaning fun in quotes, about teaching a brand new squad how to do surveillance. Oh man, it's funny, it's frustrating. You'll see. I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.